So UFC Vegas 92, main event, featherweight division, Edson Barboza versus Lerone Murphy. Two bad dudes. And all we can do is make the prediction for Murphy, but to tell you how this fight's actually going to go, I really can't. And here we go. There's no touching the gloves in this one. And the first round will tell us everything, because this is going to be a 5-round fight. You're going to get kind of a slow start here, or or the opposite's going to happen. These guys are going to be like, we're not trying to go 5 rounds, and someone's getting finished. But be prepared, unfortunately, for 25 minutes. Both guys working the jab, both guys standing right-handed, and both guys really keeping a lot of distance right now. And a low kick there already by Barboza. Lerone Murphy looks at Herb Dean and says that was low, and he kind of readjusted himself, and they'll restart. And Barboza touches gloves with him and says, my bad. And here we go. Ooh. And a nice leg kick to the body there by Barboza. And a left jab by Murphy. And even if the low blow didn't really hurt, it's a good thing to look at the ref and stop it. It kind of lets the ref know there was a low blow. It lets Barboza know that the fight had to be stopped, because it might make him think twice about landing leg kicks, right? Or if he lands another one, now you got a problem. So that's why Murphy does that when he probably really didn't need the 15 seconds. And the pace is picking up already. Lerone Murphy coming forward. First 90 seconds gone. But Barboza's not a guy who's keen on moving backwards. He's going to live with whatever happens. He's going to keep moving forward. He gets shoved back that time, but he's right back to moving forward. And this is like two wrecking balls coming at each other, because neither guy really wants to back off. And Barboza, a little bit of a height advantage. He's punching down slightly, but both guys low squatting, trying to keep their head off the center line, and a nice right there by Murphy. Ooh. And a nice body shot by Barboza. So Barboza's number 12. Murphy is not ranked, and that's really because of the inactivity. Hasn't been tested at the highest level yet, but he's 13-0, and that's why it's a big opportunity for him. You're finally getting a contender, and you win this fight, you're 14-0, and you're top 12 in the division. And next thing you know, you're getting a high-level top 10 opponent. Problem is Barboza is 12, but he's more like 6 or 7. And if we get to the end of the first round, we'll peek into the stats, but right now it just seems to me like you got Murphy landing more head strikes, and you got Barboza trying to force him to keep the distance with the leg kicks, but they're not going to work, and Murphy's just tagging Barboza right now. And as soon as he takes a leg kick, he's going right in with the counter. And already he's got Barboza not in big trouble, but a little bit of trouble, because he's just taking punches. And that's something you don't see a lot that you would think fighters will be working on, right? The low leg kicks have really taken over the sport. Guys that can't defend themselves have fallen. Good fighters, including like Conor McGregor, right, against Dustin Poirier. Those leg kicks will take over. But what Murphy's doing is, as soon as he gets kicked, boom, he comes right back with the right hand. Right? So he's countering immediately off the leg kick. And so now Barboza hasn't landed a leg kick in a while. There's one, and boom. Murphy comes right in with a left and a right. And for the first time, Barboza got the better of him. But you can see Murphy's just timing it up. As soon as he gets kicked, he's coming in immediately. And it's forced Barboza to really kind of change what he's doing. So it's already taken Barboza out of his game plan. You can see it. Yeah, and head strikes 20-3 for Murphy. Unbelievable. It's Barboza 10-2 in leg strikes, but that's not going to get it done on the judges' scorecards at all. And Barboza having a little more success here in the final minute. He's starting to work the jab more. Didn't really abandon the leg kicks. Oh, Barboza goes down on a slip. Final 10 seconds, so he'll get out of the round. But not the way you wanted to end that round. And Murphy's really going to work on Barboza here. And that's the end of the round, and Barboza still was punching from his back at the end of the round, so hopefully for him, he's got everything straightened out. But Murphy, hard to believe, is dominate Edson Barboza right now after round one. 27-18 in significant strikes, but the biggest stat is 24-6 in head strikes, right? So Barboza's landing, but it's leg kicks, body shots, which could be a problem, but it hasn't been for Murphy. Murphy's landing a lot more head strikes, so it's easy to say that he won the first round and is up 1-0. Yeah, let's see here. Nice up kick. Boom. Yeah, nice up kick by Barboza. And that definitely caught Murphy. Oh, boy. And I'll tell you what, he got caught with that up kick with like 2 or 3 seconds left in the round and went right down. He was on top of Barboza at that point. But showing the replays, it was as good as a punch. So we'll see if Murphy's affected by that spinning back kick to start the round. So no physical signs of anything here. Both fighters still look pretty good. And it's amazing. All the leg kicks Edson landed in the first 2 minutes, he's just completely abandoned them. And a nice right by Murphy as both these guys begin to open up. And it's just a big fight for Murphy if he can get the win. I mean, if it goes to a decision, you went to war, went to battle against a big-time fighter in the division, number 12, Edson Barboza, which will be fine. If you get a big finish, that's even better. But at the same time, these two are going at it right now. 110 gone. Big right by Barboza. Big right by Murphy. Oof. And it doesn't appear that when these guys take these strikes that it's really affecting them, right? I mean, you're seeing some big strikes landed. And both guys just continue to work through it. And this is a fight you'd love to see in front of a lot of fans. I mean, it's just a high-level fight. Boy, and look at Murphy, man. He's really getting after it. And other than an up kick to the nose, which you can see some signs of that, when you look at their faces, I mean, Murphy's dominating. And he's just outworking Edson Barboza. Here we go with a takedown attempt for Murphy, and that's surprising. And Edson wasn't expecting that. And is this what you really want to do with Edson Barboza when you're dominating on the feet? Right? You're up 32-9 in head strikes. Why do you want to go to the ground with a Brazilian? But Murphy believes in himself in this area as well. But I just say, hey, you're winning the fight on the feet. Why take a chance? But what do I know? Barboza shoves him off, and he's having problems with the right eye as he's wiping at it. Takes another left. And that's the thing, is Murphy is landing not only big shots with the right, but he's landing them with the jab as well. And Barboza's reeling right now. 140 left in round 2. Yeah, and Murphy's beginning to take over now. It's really becoming clear, and Barboza's having problems. Is Murphy's just being aggressive, and Murphy knows he's in trouble. He's trying to make him pay. Lands a big right, and if he keeps the pressure on, he could finish this thing in the second round. Yeah, and it's unbelievable. Yeah, he's just winning every combination. Just winning, just hitting first. Boom, lands a big right elbow, and Barboza's just reeling right now. He's trying to grab onto Murphy. He's starting to realize he falls looking for a spin kick, and don't fall for it, Murphy. Get off of him. Yeah. And Barboza's really struggling right now, and by pinning him up against the fence, you're just giving him time to breathe and get his bearings back. And I think this is a bad decision by Murphy. Even though Barboza went for a spinning back kick and just completely fell because he doesn't have his legs, doesn't mean that you need to go right in on him and look to gain control time. It's not going to do anything for you, and this really helps Barboza as Murphy does land 2 left strikes. And he's clearly dominating this fight. It's just a matter of if he's going to put him away or not. Yeah. And Barboza's not liking this, man. He's just taking strike after strike. And he's trying to jump around to get his legs back. But, man, I don't know if I've seen anyone just beat Edson Barboza like this. This is a guy I told you 2 years ago could make a run for the title. And he's had some setbacks. He beats people he's supposed to. He's had some setbacks against really good fighters. But he's one of the better fighters in the featherweight division, and Lerone Murphy is just picking him apart. 68-30 in significant strikes. When you just look at head strikes, like a boxing match, basically, it's 57-9. I mean, it's just out of control. Murphy's just dominating. And if he just stays on the feet for like 2 or 3 straight minutes, his fight's going to be over. Bing. So you look at some of the replays here. Big right by Murphy. A nice left-right combination. And right there is when Barboza was in trouble. And Murphy knew it. He tried to be aggressive. And Barboza fell trying to get a spinning back kick. And now, you know, and that's when he should have kept the pressure on. But Murphy's seeing it right now. It's just can he close the door? And I hope he can, because we need this win bad. And if he continues to land this right hand, Barboza is going to fall in this round. I guarantee it. He's a tough guy, though. He's been in a lot of big fights. He's not just going to give up. Oh, another big right by Murphy. And what it's starting to do is take the power away from Barboza, too. As he's keeping his hands up more, he's trying to protect himself, he's making his shoulders tired. He's taking away the power, and Murphy is just right in the zone. Yeah, and everybody weighing in via X is just saying how good Lerone Murphy looks. Someone saying 19-19. I don't know how that's possible. I mean, Lerone has just dominated both rounds. And he's just countering so well. Anytime there's a leg kick, he's on. Look at this. Let's go. Let's go, Lerone. Finish this thing. Gosh, and he goes into the body. Why, dude? You just landed a left and a right. You got him in trouble. Finish it. Stuff makes me crazy when they do this. You're dominating on the feet. Why are you going to give a guy time to breathe? Frustrating. And Lerone just leaning on him. He's landing some lefts here. But he is just breaking Barboza down to a point where it doesn't even seem like Barboza has the power or energy to get a finish. I mean, unless you just get caught. Big left by Murphy. He switches to left hand now. Barboza still throwing leg kicks that are powerful. And Murphy's just all over the place. But certainly attacking with the head strikes at all times. And he goes in for another takedown. And again, you're just giving Edson opportunity to breathe. As he picks up Edson now, he's looking for the takedown. He gets it. And Barboza works back up. And maybe Murphy's starting to change the game plan a little bit now. As we get later into the third round, it's looking a lot like what Denver Garimbo did earlier in the night. But they separate now in a big left-right combination. Barboza slips, and he's starting to lose his legs a little bit. Come on, Murphy, finish it. Oh, a big right hand. Gosh, Barboza's just taking it, dude. Spinning back kick to the body. And these are beginning to take an effect. Yep, and if you're Murphy, keep going. Come on. 90 seconds left in round 3, and it's going to be a long time for Barboza. There should be no reason to get into the body. And he's just picking Barboza apart. He comes in and tries to lean on him. Shove him off, Murphy. There you go. Shove him off. Dadgummit. Murphy's up 29-3 in this round. He's dominated every round in strikes. I mean, this is easily up 30-27 at the end of this round. And once again, Murphy's getting caught in the clinch when he should be separated and striking. Here we go. Final minute of the third round. Murphy's capable of getting the win here. He's just got to get the finish. Come on. Forget the decision. And now Barboza's on top of Murphy. So now Barboza's going to get the rest, dragging this fight out. And Murphy put himself in his position. It's unbelievable. Hey. Final 20 seconds, round 3. And Murphy just kind of gave Barboza time to rest, get his legs right, and now Barboza lands a big right. Spinning back kick by Murphy, followed by a left. And it's amazing that he's letting Barboza out of this round. I mean, it's just flat out amazing. Wow. Barboza's completely gassed. You got a guy on the ropes. And, if you look at it like in boxing, when a guy's in trouble and he's like bear hugs you, and he holds on for 10 seconds and the ref breaks it up, and now you know what I mean? He's going to keep doing that because he's in trouble. And what Barboza is doing is the same thing. He's trying to get into the body of Murphy when he's in trouble and just hold on and maybe try to take the fight to the ground, or just a stalemate is giving Barboza time to breathe and keeping him in this fight. There's been 3 or 4 times where Murphy is on the verge of finishing this thing, and he falls for it every time. Now Murphy beginning to look tired. Barboza's been tired for 2 rounds. And maybe Murphy's getting tired to the point where he doesn't want to go for the finish and take a chance at not getting it, but you can clearly see Barboza, after a left-right combination, was reeling. And here we go. We're into round 4. Somehow, some way. Murphy has dominated so far, 111-39 in significant strikes, 92-13 head strikes. I mean, it's sheer domination, but the fight is still going, so anything could happen. Boom, boom. Okay. Both these guys standing in the pocket trading now. It's just going to pick up. And we'll see if Murphy's got what it takes to get a finish here. That's going to be the big question. He's going to win this thing by decision if it goes that far. There's also the aspect of, you don't want to take too many chances and get caught, right? When you're winning this big. But the fact of the matter is, this guy should be looking to get the finish here in round 4. You get to the final 2 or 3 minutes of round 5 and you want to grind out the clock, fine. And we got a time right now. Herb Dean warning Lerone Murphy about his fingers. His fingers are sticking out. This has been a big thing with these gloves in the UFC. I know they're switching to new gloves. I don't know if that's happened yet, but I'll definitely look that up this week and figure it out and report back on the next podcast, because that was a big thing with the change in gloves that's coming. Barboza taking another left jab from Murphy. Both these guys standing righty versus righty. It was Murphy who switched to lefty for a few minutes and now has gone back. And maybe it's just a weak minute for Murphy, but it doesn't look like the dominating performance we saw in rounds 2 and 3. But he's still getting the better of Barboza, now landing some left jabs. And maybe he's just going to be content with running this clock now. 8 minutes left in the fight, 3 minutes left in this round. And guys are beginning to get tired. And it's amazing when you look at their faces that they're still able to go at this rate, right? I mean, it's just like, it's not as bad as you've seen in some other fights by any means. It's not It's not even really that bad, but it's just clear that these guys have been in a fight and they just continue to go at it at this level. A lot of striking going on. And Barboza lands a left-right. 2 minutes left, round 4. As Barboza dances around the outside, Lerone Murphy gives chase, and they're back in the center striking once again. And Murphy looks like at times like he wants to get the finish and get this thing over with, but it just hasn't happened. He hasn't been able to deliver on back-to-back punches, multiple combinations, things like that that will put the fight away. Barboza's doing a good enough job with a spinning back kick to the stomach. Nice. And even when Barboza's in trouble and fading, he's still capable of getting a finish, even though a round or two ago it didn't seem like that. That spinning back kick shows you that you got to be careful with Edson Barboza. Some nice jabs now by Murphy. I'll tell you what, Barboza's throwing though. Spinning back kick lands again. And this fight isn't tightening up, right? But Barboza's at least putting up a better challenge in this round than he did earlier. And I'm sure Murphy's getting tired as well. They both are. But the later this fight gets, as I said from the beginning, be ready for 25 minutes. It'll look like we may get a finish around 2 or 3, but this fight is definitely a little more even than it was in those last 2 rounds, as Barboza's looked a little bit better here. I mean, he's still getting dominated. I mean, it's still 50-20 in this round, but it's just at least Barboza's landing 20, right? He's only got 56 throughout the fight, so a little bit more of a pace here, but he's just taken too many strikes from Lerone Murphy, who's really showing right now how good he is, because he's going to, if he can continue to roll and win this fight, as there's only 5 minutes left now, it's the end of round 4. If he can continue to roll, he's going to jump into the top 12 or 13 in the division. He's going to be 14-0, and he's got 2 big names now to his resume, right? So he's, you start going up the ladder, and that's when things happen. That's when we really find out, right? That's why there's so much talk with Khamzat Chimaev right now, right? He's whooping people, and now he goes up in the rankings a little bit. It's looking a little tough against Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns, but that's just part of the journey to greatness. Is you're going to have some minor setbacks compared to what people thought. And I don't know what people thought about Lerone Murphy going into this fight, but I knew this was not going to be easy. Go back and listen to the prediction. anything could happen, but it just seems like knowing Barboza, he's going to get outfought, outstruck in this fight, which is clearly what's going on. I mean, it's 178 to 58 in total strikes, 160 to 57 in significant strikes. It's just sheer domination by Lerone Murphy. But guess what? Barboza's still standing. He's still there. And we'll see how much will here Murphy has to continue to try to get the finish or just to grind out a victory. But you got to keep the pressure on Barboza. You can't. He's not a guy you can sit back and just grind out a normal victory. Like, you don't want to go for a takedown and be stuck on the ground with a high-level Brazilian, right? If you don't need to. You don't want to back off to striking because then Barboza's going to smell that and he's going to come forward. So you got to continue to press, which means you got to take chances. Like right there, Murphy just took a big left, and now he gets into the body. A lot of time left here, 4 minutes. And you'll see this happen with a lot of fighters, right? They're dominating. They don't want to take chances. They want to get into the body in the clinch. But you don't want to do that with Barboza. So Murphy shoves off, lands a right elbow on the way out, and a big right by Murphy. Yeah, and as people are weighing in on X, Barboza's taken over 100 strikes, head strikes. That's not good. Yeah, it's well over 100. That was after the fourth round, or in the fourth round. Right now it's at 143. So, Barboza's going to have to take a lot of time off not a lot of time off, but just really, yeah, I mean, just take some time off here because this is an absolute battle. It's just not a back and forth battle. It's a one-sided battle that Barboza's, on the negative side in this one. And Murphy just continues to touch him. Unbelievable. Left, right, left. Barboza responds with a left, right? Just enough to stay in the fight, but man. And it's like no matter how many times Murphy hits Barboza's just going to stand there and continue pressing forward. And he blocks a leg kick from Murphy. 2:15 left in the fight. You're just going to see this clock wind down now and Murphy cruise to victory. So you just got to play it smart here over the last 2 minutes. The decision is already an afterthought. And just the way Barboza's standing with his hands kind of clenched together, he's just tired, man. He's just tired. Doesn't have that same power, not even close, he would have like in the first round. That spinning back kick is still there. Is now Murphy goes in for the big takedown. And man, look how tired Barboza is. I mean, it's just. And Murphy continues to pound away. Like, he's definitely not letting up. And Barboza tries to grab the fence. I don't even think he realizes what he's doing at this point. It's kind of like just trying to stay out of trouble. And Murphy's looking to take the back here. 110 left in the fight. And although this is one-sided, I don't know what other fight would get fight of the night. I mean, Demba Garimba's fight went to a decision. That was one-sided. You got to go all the way back down to Magomedov and Warley Alves, which was one-sided. I mean, I guess you might have to go back to fight one. The first fight of the night between Demopoulos and Ducote might be the fight of the night. That was a split decision. And every other fight's been a KO or a one-sided decision or submission. So As we approach the final 20 seconds, Murphy just continues to pull away. 195 to 73 in significant strikes, 217 to 74 in total strikes, head strikes 154 to 35, and he's just rolling to victory. I mean, this is dominant fashion. 4 takedowns to none, 520 of control, and Edson Barboza gives him a touch of the gloves, and Barboza takes a seat, and he realizes that he just got dominated, and it is what it is. But Lerone Murphy is going to win in dominant fashion. If you're going to beat a guy like Edson Barboza and get into the top 15, it's not a bad way to beat him. Not a bad way at all. But Lerone Murphy's going to dominate here by unanimous decision to move to 14-0, featherweight division, UFC Vegas 92.